Do you think Microsoft and Bungie knew what they were making when Combat Evolved was being developed? Not only were they getting ready to release a brand new console to compete with the juggernaut that was the PS2, but they also had a new IP. Shooters weren't common on consoles at the time, and many people didn't think a shooter could even translate to consoles effectively. Imagine everyone's surprise when this new Halo game took the world by storm. If a consumer's new Xbox didn't come with a copy of Combat Evolved, they were picking one up during the same purchase. The rest is history. Halo would become one of the most successful video game franchises ever, and even though the series has fallen from grace, Halo is still relevant and still has a thriving community that, for better or worse, is known for its toxicity.
Hey, Devil. Yeah. Fuck you.
God, I love these games, and I can't wait to discuss them. I would like to point out that all my Halo reviews will be done through the Master Chief Collection. For Halo CE in particular, I will also cover the game's Anniversary Edition in this video. That may upset some purists out there, but I'm not going to go buy capture equipment just to get footage from my original copy of the game. Plus, I enjoy the Anniversary Edition. In fact, I prefer it.
Must Rolf beat some sense into that overcooked noodle that you call a head?
Wasting no more time, let's jump into the story that started it all.
Sir? Right. Let's thaw him out. Okay. Bringing low-level systems online. Cracking the case in 30 seconds.
Halo Combat Evolved opens on the UNSC ship Pillar of Autumn after they have just left the planet Reach. Reach has fallen to an alien army known as the Covenant. The humans of the UNSC are on the run because they have a critical mission that the player will become aware of later. The narrative kicks off when the Pillar of Autumn is attacked by the Covenant, and in the process of escaping, the UNSC discovers a ring-like planet that they must explore because it's the only place that their escape pods land after being intercepted by their alien enemy. Players will assume the role of Master Chief, a power armor-clad super soldier that will be shepherding us through this journey of mystery and alien genocide.
Am I right, Marine? Sir, yes, sir!
Halo's lore is now massive, and there are so many story arcs it can be overwhelming. But the biggest positive to Combat Evolved is all those story arcs have yet to be explained. I still remember the first time I played this and learned what the Halo rings are and what they do. Later Halo titles feel like action films, but this game almost feels like a science fiction mystery. It wasn't the plan for the UNSC to land on the Halo, but they're here now. So what else is there to do but solve the enigma of the ring? The plot only thickens when they discover that the Covenant want the ring for an undetermined reason. There is so much intrigue in the first entry that would be lost as the games went on, so it's interesting to come back to Combat Evolved and see how it all started. It's even better if you're a first-time player, because you get to discover the point of this.
Talking about jealousy.
I do have to say that this story is on a grand scale. Therefore, some of the focus on the characters is a bit lacking. I love everyone on display, but you don't learn much about any of them. This is a recurring critique of the Halo series, but I'd argue it's the most prevalent in the first game. What do I know about Chief? He kicks ass. What do I know about Sergeant Johnson? He kicks ass. What do I know about Cortana? Do you see what I mean? Very surface level character development. Halo's story is still great, but I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't have loved to know more about these characters. Some of the hardcore fans out there might defend this by saying you get all that information in the book. My response to that would be,
Oh, hey, fuck you!
I'm reviewing this game and this game alone. Yes, the lore has been fleshed out in other mediums, but I've always hated that despite being a huge fan of Halo's story. It's the writer's job to give me the meat and potatoes, and I feel like they missed the mark a little bit here.
Where's the beef?
Not the end of the world, but still bothersome. Something that isn't bothersome is the iconic gameplay. My favorite part about the Anniversary Edition of the game is that it feels just like the original. All that was updated was the visuals. You still get old school stiff shooting, catastrophic explosions, and of course, the wild physics. Like I said, the shooting is a bit rigid, and the minimal weapon sway in the original version only accentuates this. That being said, each weapon's firing still feels accurate, and something even better is that every weapon in the game feels helpful in one degree or another. When I grab the plasma pistol in any other Halo, I assume death is coming for me. Not here though. The weapon selection is the smallest out of any of the games, so the developers were kind enough to balance every weapon appropriately. This creates a combat sandbox for the player to enjoy, and it only gets better when you look at the enemy variety. You may have to encounter agile and accurate elites, or the tenacious force of a hunter, with everything in between, but no matter what, you will have a weapon for the job. Even for those not so fun enemies. Yeah, I don't enjoy the Flood. Never have, to be honest. These guys are just as unstoppable as the Tide of Islam, and it doesn't lead to fun gameplay. It would be one thing for the Flood to behave like zombies so I could create some distance, but these assholes also get weapons. I can't begin to tell you how many times one of these bastards put buckshot into my helmet. Something else worth mentioning is the health bar that only goes down if your shield is depleted. This is a perfect blend of life regeneration and health bars. The mix makes one feel like a badass super soldier without feeling overpowered. If your health is low and that shield breaks, the Covenant effectively turned into Dolph Lundgren.
Unbelievable, the condition it was then, but the Russian
I must break you.
Luckily, Combat Evolved is known for its exploits, so if you need to grenade jump to get away from these bastards, you totally can. This also makes the legendary difficulty much more manageable. If you don't use the exploits on the legendary difficulty, you should expect a pounding harder than I got in college. No, I don't want to talk. In all seriousness, I recommend the heroic difficulty for your playthrough. Legendary is nothing short of ball busting without the exploits, and anything lower feels like a cakewalk. Even if you're playing legendary co-op, you can expect to get your ass kicked. Speaking of the co-op, it's another huge positive for the game. Play online with a friend, or you can enjoy the elusive split-screen experience. If you play on the console version. God, do you remember split screen? That feature that used to be included in every first-person co-op shooter? The feature that now seems to be harder to find than the female G-spot? Which, of course,
doesn't exist. Doesn't exist.
That's okay though, because when you do play with a friend, Halo is one of the best experiences you can ever have playing co-op.
Scary elites are called, but he's spooky.
The Zealots.
That's right. Did he just get crushed?
Nah, he's fine.
We're gonna beat it first try, right?
For sure. Neither of us are even gonna die once. Oh!
He laid the smack down.
He did.
Oh, there better be a checkpoint or I'm gonna boil my balls. Yep, there we go.
I'll blow your brains out. Get away.
Oh.
Got him. Good fucking touch. Crushed them all.
I loved everything about that.
The fun doesn't stop there. Once you finish the campaign, you can play a few rounds of the multiplayer. Popularized by LAN parties and word of mouth, the foundation of Halo's multiplayer was created here, and it would grow to be a powerhouse with the release of Halo 2. That's a video for another time, though. How's the multiplayer here? Simplistic and archaic, but nothing short of a good time. Team Slayer and Capture the Flag still have a decent player base on the Master Chief Collection, so it's easy to pop in and get a few kills. I didn't get into the series early enough to enjoy the LAN party era, but I can say the multiplayer is still a good bit of fun, and nostalgia isn't needed for me to say that, mainly because the map design of the first Halo is impressive even today. Combat Evolved has some of the most unique maps I've ever seen, with dynamic environments only adding to the shooting, that has somehow managed to age like wine and show its age. Is there anything I don't enjoy in this game? While the checkpoints aren't the best due to them not activating correctly every time, and even though the gameplay is fun, you will experience a bullshit death when you're playing through, no matter what, which is only more frustrating if you haven't gotten a checkpoint in 20 minutes. I haven't had a chance to get a lot of bitching done in this video. Maybe I'll get that chance when we talk about the presentation.
Damaged reactor. I'll bring us in as close as I can. Oh, I see. The coordinate data needs to be... Right. Sorry.
We have two sides of the same coin to discuss in this video, considering I decided to use the Anniversary Edition of the game. I say this because the Anniversary Edition allows players to switch between old and new graphics on the fly. It's an impressive feature, and should be in every remaster. Looking at iconic areas from the original game, they only become more astonishing when I see them instantly transition into a modern interpretation. Halo Combat Evolved had decent graphics for its time, but now they appear to be overly smooth and generic. The textures leave a lot to the imagination, and don't even get me started on the facial animations. The 2011 Anniversary Edition of the game looks breathtaking in comparison, and the purists out there probably hate hearing a filthy casual like me say something like that. I've read the Reddit threads and seen the videos saying the architecture in the Anniversary Edition is canon breaking, but the thing is,
I don't care.
Everything has been improved, from the character models, the textures, particle effects, and lighting. I included a couple transition clips to show off how 343 did remastering this Bungie classic. Some levels were so dark in the original I remember having problems navigating them on my box TV. Modern monitors improved this a bit, But why would I fight the visuals of old when I can literally click a button and fix all of my problems? It's like when your doctor gives you control of your morphine drip at the hospital. He does the same thing.
Oh, so it does.
They even improved the audio of the original game, which is great because it shows off how good the voice acting is.
This is it, baby. Hold me.
As good as the performances are, the true highlight of the sound design is the music. Martin O'Donnell is the best composer in video games, and his scores can transfer me to a different world by hearing one note.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
All of these aspects come together to make a certified classic. And to be completely frank, it doesn't matter which version you play. I may prefer the Anniversary Edition, but I understand the gritty appeal of old. And all that really matters is that you experience this benchmark in gaming. Halo isn't really at the forefront of the industry anymore, primarily due to mishandling of the IP by Microsoft and 343. However, you could have Master Chief spit in my face and I would still love Halo. Combat Evolved is still amazing regardless. The gunplay was ahead of its time, there was an amazing story, and it's one of the best shooters you can play with friends. If that's not enough for you, new content continues to be added to the Master Chief Collection, including cut content that was supposed to be in the original 2001 release of the game. I see nothing wrong here other than you're not playing it right now. Now instead you're listening to a monotone weirdo who has nothing better to do than make videos for no one. So fuck off.
You heard the lady. Move like you got a purpose.